Round and round the faraway tree go Joe, Bessie and me. Did you ever read that book when you were a child? What was your favourite text? Does it still stand true today? Would you read it to your own children? What makes something a classic? What makes something a truly great work that's going to be timeless, stand the test of time? What's going to be told again? What's going to be forgotten? Really good questions. Teachers spend countless hours searching through text, trying to find something that's actually going to be of value and of actual worth to the students that are in their classes. Texts are usually judged as classics because they have a timeless and universal appeal. And the title of classic is usually awarded by experts. I don't think I've enjoyed everything that's titled as a classic. What about you? Are the classics a winner with you? Today we're looking at the textual concept of literary value, which basically is looking at texts that are of value or worth. What gives them that value? Here's what to expect at the different ages for your child or student. In ages between 5 and 6, it's important for children to see that texts are there to be enjoyed and interacted with. Pretty simple. In between ages 6 and 8, children should see that some texts are more enjoyable than others. Perhaps they've got a favourite movie that they just want to watch again and again. And this is good to point out to kids that, hey, this is a classic with you. A really good task for kids to do is to listen to the audio of a text without any pictures. And this will help build up their own imagination and use it in creative ways. It'll actually make more connections in the brain. In the ages between 8 and 10, children go through a bit of a social explosion. Their brains are really wired and geared for them to talk with their friends. They're probably talking about their favourite films, series or books, which is really enjoyable for them. Children should see that learning about the world actually happens through text, and it's really important that they have good text available for them so their learning is accurate. In ages between 10 and 12, children should start to see that they have their favourite texts. They'll also start to engage with more sophisticated texts, seeing that these sophisticated texts have layers of meaning and they have a bit of a depth to them. They'll probably start to enjoy talking about these texts with their friends, and they'll also start to realise that these special texts get them to think bigger and expand their horizons. In between the ages of 12 to 14, students are probably starting to engage with the classics and are beginning to appreciate the impacts that these classics have actually had on our culture and our culture's worldview. They'll see that these texts have been written by master authors who have been using imagery to tap into the human imagination and to create worlds where the reader can go on an amazing journey in. They also see other texts of the same genre that just simply flop at this, and therefore they're not really that much of a classic. Yet they'll also see that there are some groups of people that give these texts some sort of praise. A word of note here is that they'll probably start to engage with really quality texts that actually impact their thinking, open up their thinking, and open their life to a new world of thought. That's pretty cool. In ages between 14 and 16, students start to see that texts have made impressions on them, but the super texts have actually made impressions on society, and these texts are what we call super texts. They have had the power to shape civilizations. In between ages 16 and 18, students see that value is actually ascribed, and it's not always permanent. It can come and go with popular opinion. And they should also note that in this digital age that we live in, authority and quality isn't only ascribed by experts these days. It's the masses that get to have their say on social media, and it's the masses that actually get to crown texts as champions. However, what the masses crown as the champion, will that stand the test of time? Will that have an effect on society as a whole? Students will also learn that quality texts are completely original. They don't borrow from other texts. There's no real sign of intertextuality. They're unique and they're original and they are one of a kind. Thanks for tuning in. on quality literature with Education 2020 today. I'm curious to know, what was your favourite book as a child that you would love to see made into a movie? Mine has always been The Faraway Tree. I'd love to see a movie or a series made on that. I know they made a cartoon series. Or if you had a series or a film that you saw as a child that you would love to see reimagined in today's amazing technology and filmmaking. Don't forget to leave those comments below. I'd love to see it. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you next time.